Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by the main man, Bernard Janine from the Citizen channel. How you doing, buddy?
I've been better.
It's been the culmination of poor, pathetic performances over the last few weeks. There's no doubt about it. City been beaten by Aston Villa by 1-0. This is the day after review show. It gives us a time to take some of the emotion out of it, maybe watch some highlights, and give our considered opinion on the game.
It's always best to sleep. It's always best to sleep on it, isn't it?
Yeah. Mate, okay, I've got one question. How shit were we yesterday?
Well, you talk about how we've been playing, but at least in the other games we were our own. It was our own problems. We caused our own problems. We just weren't. We should have won them. Simple as that. Yeah. Not in a million years did we get anywhere near even getting out of the traps in this one. And all credit to Villa. I mean, Villa are a good team, and we talk about momentum, don't we, mate? We talked about it with City, haven't we? But obviously, other teams can have it as well. And Villa, especially at Villa Park, I mean, they think they're unbeatable, and that's how they're playing.
I think I heard a stat. I mean, I heard this one a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's been updated since the start of the year, the calendar year 2023. Manchester City have got 81 points in the league. Arsenal have got, I think, 77. Villa have got 75. That's how good Villa have been this season, and mostly it's with the same players that Steven Gerrard had. Okay, Unai Emery in two transfer windows has brought a few people in. He's got, did he get Liam Bailey? I can't remember. But he's got Tielemans on a free. He bought 2 or 3 players for 14 or 15 million quid. He went out and bought Pau Torres.
He's not made anything that you go, wow. But, he's strengthened the squad in other bits and bobs.
Yeah. So mostly he's done good in the transfer window. A couple of some loan deals. Longley hasn't worked out. A couple of loan deals haven't worked out. But overall, they've done well. They're playing exciting football. And I've got to be honest, I didn't watch the game. Okay, hands up. But I was working last night. I was telling Bernard, I didn't bust a gut to get back from work just to watch the last 20 minutes after listening to it on the radio. And I watched the highlights. And it's only a 2-minute, 2.5, minute highlights reel. Okay. In that 2.5 minutes or whatever, Villa had 3 really good chances to score before they scored. They hit the post, and they had another good chance late on as well. Okay. They could have had 5 goals yesterday, and that wouldn't have flattered them.
Yeah.
We had, I'm sorry to say, Erling Haaland had 2 good chances that he should have scored. And this is only in the highlights. So he had that shot and then the header from the subsequent cross. I think he should have scored with both of those chances. So we didn't, like you're right. In the other games, we created a lot and had shocking defending, appalling defending, cost us. But we were terrible all over the pitch. I just want to pick your brains here because I looked at the names on the team sheet. I want you to, if you can, please explain to me what system we were playing and where people were playing. So we had Edison, Walker, Ruben Diaz, Gvardiol, Stones, Akanji, Bernardo Silva, Luis Alvarez, Foden, Haaland. I count 6 defenders there. And we still couldn't keep a clean sheet. 5 clean sheets in 22, 23 games. Pathetic. So can you tell me where people were playing, please? Because I haven't got the foggiest.
The only guy who was constantly in defence was Diaz. That was it. All the rest might have done it occasionally. Gvardiol may have done it occasionally. Gvardiol had a bloody nightmare. Bailey ripped him to pieces. Of course, I believe I have heard. I don't know how true it is that Aki wasn't quite right. Again, he's on the bench, but for me, and I think you as well, Aki should be starting every game for City. Simple as that. So if there is a problem, fair enough. But if Aki was fit,
I'm not buying that.
Big mistake by Pep if Aki was fit not to play him last night, especially against Bailey, who is a good player. Nothing wrong with Bailey, but Gvardiol could. And the trouble was, I said Diaz was the only one who seemed actually there to defend. The rest of them, I don't. They were playing midfield. It was just this role that Pep's
Dysfunctional.
decided we can all play. But you can't just have one defender.
Yeah. So hang on. So we got Akanji playing alongside Rodri role.
Coming back as and when needed, but obviously he was halfway up the pitch half the time.
Yeah. We got Rodri. Sorry, we've got
Walker's up the right wing.
We've got John Stones playing the alongside.
John Stones is in their third.
We've got Lewis playing the alongside.
Lewis is in their third, doing that, running around like a scalded cat.
What Villa have got in the midfield, they've got power, strength, physicality. They've got some big beasts there.
They didn't even have to play it through the middle. They didn't have to play it through the middle. They just played it over the top. There's one ball. There's one in their first, an okay save from, I think it was six minutes. It looked as though the pass was going to go out. So Guardiola stopped, and Bailey just ran onto it. And obviously, Edison sort of, I called it, smothered it out. It wasn't the greatest save in the world, but it did enough to. But that was typical. That was 6 minutes. That was what typical of the rest of the game. Really, it's just comical at times. Yeah.
It was terrible defending. It's terrible all over the pitch. Let's be honest. Look, we were unlucky to start the game without Doku, who's injured. Big miss. Without Jack Grealish, not a big miss because he was suspended. Rodri. Now, the stat is Rodri, since he's been at City, has missed 16 games or has not been available for whatever reason. And we've lost 6 of them. So Rodri is a really important piece of the jigsaw. But also, in the last few games where he has played, he hasn't been doing well. We saw when he got that sending off, we lost. Did we lose all 3 games? No, we lost 2 of them at least. And was it all 3 because we played Newcastle in the League Cup as well? So I think the games Rodri missed, we lose. When he came back for the Champions League game, we won it. So he's an important part of the team, but it's a shambles. We've said, look, it is what we've been saying over the last few weeks, but it's not just that. We've been saying this. I've been saying it since the beginning of the season, where we haven't looked good. We've won games where we're wasteful with our chances. Other teams haven't taken their chances, which has allowed us to win a few games this season. We've picked up 3 points in the last 4 games. We've dropped off. Yes, people will say, well, last season we came back from 6 points behind Arsenal, blah, 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 blah. Last season we had senior players like Mahrez, like Gundogan, like a fit KDB, like a fit John Stones. We haven't got them now. How can we bounce back? I think that's the question. That's what everybody wants to know. How can we bounce back? Because we were thinking at some point, at the Spurs game, we thought that would be our bounce back at home against Spurs, who'd lost the last 3 games, were poor, had 10 injuries. We thought that would be our bounce back game. How do you see us bouncing back? Do you see us bouncing back?
We have to wait, mate, don't we? Obviously, we're all hoping now we'll see something against Luton, but Luton will be licking the chops, licking the lips at this, won't they? They haven't watched that. I mean, people don't not watch City. They watch City, and the commentators are convinced now Villa had a master plan. They didn't have a master plan. It's just that we're poor. It's nothing to do with a master plan of City have been dominant for so many years, and all of a sudden teams have figured us out. They haven't figured us out. We're just playing below what we should be playing.
Yeah, there's something I've said for the last few seasons. I've said, if you've got players, okay, you can get away with playing 1, possibly 2 sub-par players in your side, and you get away with it because of the quality. So when we had Fabian Delph, Zinchenko at left back, we got away with it because we had Vincent Kompany, we had Otamendi, we had Walker back in the day, we had Fernandinho, we had KDB, David Silva, Gundogan, Aguero, Sane, Sterling, Mahrez, and all that. So Delph could get away playing left back because he was the one weak link in the whole side, and people played on that, but they couldn't. Such was the domination of City that they couldn't exploit it often enough. But now, I look at last night's lineup, and this is my personal opinion. I'm looking at Walker, Gvardiol, not playing top notch. Akanji, Lewis. I'm not saying Lewis isn't good enough, but they don't strike fear in me. And I think there's 2 or 3 below par players. And I used to say this, when we made too many changes, we were disjointed, dysfunctional.
Alvarez, it's only because Pep isn't finding the right role for him, but Alvarez is just a waste of time.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, we've done a lot of negative. Are there any positives from last night? Did anybody have a good game? Edison?
Well, Edison was my man of the match. That's only because he was busier, but he wasn't. A couple of things he was positioning wasn't great for me as an old crappy keeper. But yeah, he was our best player. So if Edison's your best player, we're struggling, aren't we? In fairness.
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Did anybody get more than 5 out of 10 for you then? How about that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I had to be generous to some, and I had to be fair to some because, poor Lewis. Lewis, Pep just asked him obviously to play in midfield. I don't think Lewis knew where he was playing. It was like you play a Sunday, say you played a Sunday league match and you had your son playing who was 10. And the other guy, and that's what it was like. He was like a little puppy running around the pitch. It was painful. The thing is, Lewis is being thrown in and classed as one of our senior players now, and that's not how we played it with these young lads coming through with the Fodens of this world, etc. He doesn't do that, and now he's being forced to. And Lewis last night was shot, and no fault of his own, but he was showing up, and even for Pep to bring Oscar Bob on. He wasn't going to do anything. Nothing was going to happen. He just, so this is what annoys me about Pep. Those 3 changes he made, there's nothing. It didn't make one jot of difference apart from taking tired players off, which I can't remember the 3 guys he took off. I don't.
Alvarez after 6 games.
See, Alvarez was having a shocker, but the other guys aren't going to do anything.
So Lewis
Foden was one of our better players. He took him off, and obviously it was the other guy that took. Who else didn't take Stones? Why the hell did he take Stones off? Stones, for me, Stones wasn't right. Stones wasn't 100% last night.
He's been on the bench for the last 3-4 games, and he's not.
He stayed on the pitch for 100 minutes. I just don't understand. Look, we're getting beat. There's no sign we're going to get back into this game. To put people like Nunes, all right, it's all right. They get minutes, but we're not going to. Kovacic and Nunes coming on. I just went, all right, okay. I'm not. And then Bob came on. I thought, well, yeah, if Doku had been coming on, for instance, if he'd have been available, you might think, oh, that'll change it. But poor Bob, to stick him on, give him 2 minutes of instructions. It was there gesticulating what he had to do. The poor lad probably didn't. Oh, God, what are you doing to me? Can I just stay off the pitch? Why are you putting me on? He could see it in his face and. It's just useless. Pep doesn't use subs, but when he does, he's just as though it's a token gesture just to keep people quiet.
This was our subs bench: Phillips, Aki, Kovacic, Ortega Moreno, Gomez, Nunes, Carson, Bob. None of those strike fear into me. Yes, you can look at we've got injuries and stuff, but look, I'm watching Liverpool, dig out a 4-3 win. And dig out points, dig out late wins. I'm watching Arsenal dig out stuff. And I'm watching City give up leads on a consistent basis. And I said it earlier in the season, this has a feeling like the season after we were formidables, where we dropped off and we give up. And part of me feels like the players... Everybody's talking about, City will be all right after Christmas. City will be all right. They're going to roll. City will be all right.
We're going to roll from February. We might be 20 points behind by then, but we're going to roll from February.
Exactly. So everybody's waiting for this to happen. Everybody's waiting for KDB to turn up and miraculously transform us. Bottom line is, you put KDB in that side last night, we'd have still lost.
I'll be honest with you, mate. Last night, if Rodri had played, I think we would have still lost. Yeah, last night, because I just think the way they played, the midfield played, and the way Rodri would have his style of play, I don't think he could have coped.
He would have helped. I think it would have helped Lewis, but we'd have struggled. And
he would have took sort of Gvardiol out of the equation or a Kanji, so that would have helped anyway.
Yeah. The biggest concern is Manchester United are 3 points behind us.
Yeah, well, that's quite right. It just, I mean, we can say what we want. We love City, and as I say, hopefully Luton is the turnaround. I'll keep saying this till next March or April when we're middle of the table and struggling to get top four. But it is what you have to accept. It's just not working. Pep knows it's not working. Pep's not all right. Protecting his players. Pep.
Yeah.
You got some feedback there. Sorry, mate. Pep's protecting his players as he should do. He's sticking up, he's saying the right things, and that's what he should do. Pep knows it's not right. The players know it's not right, but somehow he's just got to start doing it on the pitch. And obviously, Luton away, in theory, is a good way to start, but it's not going to be easy because they did very well. They've done very well last 2 or 3 home games.
Yeah, look, Luton have done very, very well indeed. They should have beat Liverpool. Liverpool got a lucky late goal from Diaz to equalise and got something out of that. So they were very, very lucky there. I'm just looking at, they're out of the bottom 3. Okay, all right, that's because Everton have got obviously that punishment, 10 points deduction.
Yeah, I think Everton can go above them if they win tonight.
Yeah. So, but they lost to Arsenal after they were winning 3-2. That was
again the 98th minute. So
yeah. So these lucky results for other teams like the Liverpool, and I mean, it's one of those things. At 90 minutes, Luton walk away with 3 more points. They only lost. Well, I've slagged Man United off, but they only lost 1-0 to Man United. They lost 2-1 to Burnley, 1-0 to Spurs. They drew with Forest 2-2. They lost to Villa away 3-1, but no one's won at Villa for a long time. They beat Everton 2-1. They drew with Wolves 1 each, lost to Fulham 1-0, and West Ham they lost 2-1.
Just changing the subject just a little bit. It'd be very, very interesting game, Villa and Arsenal weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to quickly mention that, but look, I was going to finish up at Luton. They've not been battered out of sight. They are going to work at this, so that's a worry. We'll talk about Luton in a bit when we do the Luton preview. But the Villa-Arsenal game, I mean, okay, my final question. What score do you want that to be, Villa versus Arsenal?
I just want us to get back on track, mate. That'll sort itself out. I think we're -10 at the moment on points against obviously the teams we played last season. -10 now, so we've got to pick 10 points up to get the same points as last year. I mean, that's probably more than what will win it this year by the looks of it anyway, isn't it? I mean, you always start to have a look at that, don't you, as the season progresses, what points will be needed.
2.5. I reckon 2.5 points per game.
We're averaging 2 at the moment, aren't we? So we've got a lot of work to do, unfortunately.
You're going to need at least 2.5. Now, 2.5 and 38, 76 plus 86.
95.
95. So
we won't need that many, will we?
I reckon 92
What did we get last season offhand? Can you remember?
89.
89, right. So we know we could have had more. I think 85 will win it this season.
Well, I look at it and say Liverpool have got a second with 34 points after 15 games. They've got 23 games to get 50 points. That will get them to 84. So I can see
85 to 90. You were saying, aren't we? Then
I always say 90 points is the target, and if we get 90 and someone beats us, fair dues. But we will look back at this period where we've picked up 6 points from 5 games. Well, the thing is, we won the first 6 games, and everybody thought everything's rosy in the house or the garden. Next 9 league games, we've won 3, drawn 3, lost 3. I mean,
there's a nice symmetry to it, anyway. So
12 points in 1 game. It's terrible. Anyway, mate, we can just go on and on and on and on and whinge about it. But it's very disappointing. Let's hope we bounce back against Luton. Thanks very much, mate. You take care. We'll see you around Blues.